Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on December 1st, 2016, and, well, actually for the most part, this episode of Impact was a pretty good one. A little bit of weirdness out of there, but overall a good one, and then some potential storylines being built in the X Division. Who would have thunk it? They actually are building storylines in the X Division. They put on great matches, but seriously, they don't build any stories from them. But they started off the show with Aaron Rex putting out an open challenge for anybody to challenge him for the Grand Championship. And lo and behold, it was Moose who challenged him. Now, here's the really good thing I liked about this one, because the match was quick and Moose wins really quickly here. And it was the actions of Aaron Rex saying, he's saying, anyone comes out, and then Moose's music hits. It's like, who's that? I mean, play Grado's music. He was doing things like, he had this already set up. Like he was going to face Grado, easy win, everything in that sense, to try to say, it's like, I'm a fighting champion and everything in that sense. So, one of those bits, just like, I like those little bits of heel side from Aaron Rex there. He loses real quick, of course, does the typical can't believe he lost his championship type feel. Coming off as like almost the victim in this sense, even though he was trying to do something devious himself in the end. So I liked what they came off with here. Up next, you had the DCC going out into the actual ring to cut a promo. The weird thing about this promo, and I'm not sure how I'm going to like it with the DCC, doing the voice filter thing away from the desk. It feels like most of their promos should be held at that desk spot with the voice filter, and if they were doing anything out in the arena, they would do it in their normal voices or anything in that sense. But they do play off the aspect of using the voice filter throughout the entire thing. It came off looking a little weird because the hand gestures and everything, like their movements, did not signify towards the words they were saying. That's the weird thing about it at that point in time. Eventually, Jeff Hardy does come out. Comes out dressed up in like his broken attire instead of normal Jeff Hardy attire, and he also signifies that they're going to have the World Tag Team title match that night. He starts getting beaten down by the DCC, and lo and behold, who returns but broken Matt Hardy? He's back because his amnesia is now gone. He is broken again, and he's back in the arena. And they end the segment with Jeff basically taking Matt's catchphrase, going, "Brother-in-law, I knew you'd come." Yeah, not bad stuff here. I did like it a little bit in the end. A little bit weird with the voiceover thing simply because, like I said, the hand gestures and their movement did not signify towards what they were saying. Like, they would move their arm or something in that sense, or make a movement, and they weren't really saying anything. It was a little bit off in the terms of everything towards that. But it was what it was on that side, and the aspect of Matt showing back up in there as well came out, made it a little bit better in the end. Up next, you have Braxton, Sutter, Mandrews, and DJZ. This was for the X Division title. They cut a pretty good promo beforehand. All three of them saying it's like, how they're still the team go for broke for Team X Gold and everything in that sense. But each of them talk about wanting to win the title to go along with it. Down the road. So they actually cut a decent promo here on each side via the video package. The match itself, I thought, was a pretty good triple threat match between all three of them. DJZ comes out the winner in the end by stealing the victory after the shooting star press from Mandrews. Lo and behold, at the end of the match, Mandrews decides to attack him, feeling that he got robbed, even though it's a triple threat match. How do you get robbed in a triple threat? On the aspect, you did the finishing move, but you get pinned. You got pinned. He took advantage of Sid's situation. That's what you're supposed to do in a triple threat. So one of those bits of he does attack DJZ, so it leaves the whole team go for broke thing up in the air, so we'll see where that goes. I've not been a big fan of the whole Team X Gold thing to begin with, so if this leads into like an actual storyline between DJZ and Andrews and Braxton and Sutter, at least it's a story, not just hey matches. There you go. Have fun. Now you get good matches with a potential story. So I'm okay with that in the end. I am completely okay with that in the end. You had a backstage segment with Allie and Laurel Van Ness. Basically, Laurel saying it's like, oh, I knew you meant to hit me with a pie last week, and like basically threatening her job and everything in that sense. This does lead to the next segment where Maria calls out Allie. Eventually, she does get berated enough to where she slaps Maria, but then gets beaten down herself. So they're still playing off the aspect that, you know, Allie's with them, but they keep like pestering her and everything in that sense, saying she's not a wrestler or anything to that end. So it's going to be an interesting way how they're going to play this, because like the way they've booked Allie, she wouldn't necessarily be a wrestler, but now she was technically being trained by someone else. So maybe they'll allow her to actually do her normal moves that she would do on the indie scene and everything in that sense. So, I mean, we'll see where everything goes with that. But, again, this story's been taking way too long to get to this point, that it's almost getting to the point that I'm not caring as much about that right now. Like, they've stretched it out for a very, very long time, where this probably should have ended somewhere around Bound for Glory. In that sense and everything, but we'll see how they continue on with it. DCC versus the Broken Hardys. The Hardys win in what was an okay match. There's really not much to speak of it. It's like the Hardys were back, in the sense of Broken Matt Hardy and the Brother Nero side. They kind of did their normal. Shtick. The DCC did their thing. It was Kingston and. It was Eddie Kingston and Bram challenging them for the tag team titles. Kingston has like this, what is supposed to be protective vest, but just looks like it's an umpire's vest. Like, it looks really cheap on him, and it doesn't. It's one of those things that looks a little bit weird. Hopefully, it's not like for an actual injury or anything. They're just doing it for some kind of like SWAT team effect, like they did with the Shield or something like that way back when the Shield, and well, now what Roman Reigns does, but it looks really cheap in that side of everything. But otherwise, okay match. I'm hoping there's still going to be more between the DCC and the Broken Hardys, because this match really left a lot to be desired, and hopefully for more down the road. Maybe something during total nonstop deletion that's supposed to happen in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Maybe. I don't know. We can only hope. After this, there was an EC3 and Eli Drake promo. This is good stuff. This is kind of the teasing of the aspect that Eli Drake's not allowed to talk, or he's going to get fined $25,000. So, hey, there's something for you. If he actually talks, there's a consequence. He's in storytelling. Even though it's like a money fine and everything like that, at least decent storytelling and keeping something to that as well. So, okay, stuff there. Afterwards, EC3 comes out. He calls out Eddie Edwards for a promo. And, you know, the way that it came off, like, EC3 telegraphs that to Eddie Edwards, I will do anything to try to get back the World Heavyweight title and everything. Like, both of these guys cut two good promos between it, but it almost feels like they're telegraphing a EC3 heel turn here in the very near future. I mean, we'll see how that actually plays off, or if that's going to be the actual case, but that's how it felt like when they did this promo. Both of them cut a good promo here, and the final line was, EC3 was like, I go by the motto of kill them all and let God sort them out. Makes you feel like he's going to go heel again here very soon. We'll see how that ends up going, and because their match is next week with EC3 and Eddie Edwards. So we'll see how everything goes off on that one. And they finished off the night with the Knockouts title match inside of Six Sides of Steel with Rosemary and Jade. And, you know, I've kind of figured this out with Jade. Her matches are good based off of her reactions. She may not be the best inside of the ring, but she has good reactions and good, like, psychology to make you feel like she's into that character and everything in that sense. Just like by her facial reactions or reactions inside the ring, how she ends out getting her offense in there. Like, we know Jade's good in the ring, but Rosemary put a different side in. It was more storytelling of like her craziness and everything in that sense inside of an actual match. You don't see her in too many matches, and she ends up winning this one with a miss to the eyes and then doing the F5. And of course, like, plays it up off the Gail Kim and everything in that sense, because she says she's trying to destroy her crusade to find a chosen one and everything in that sense. It came off really good in the end. Like, this cage match was a different variation of good. It wasn't like, everyone just getting smashed into the cage and high spot after high spot. There was a couple of high spots and they used the cage to a decent advantage, but it came off, it just came off good in the end. And again, I play that up to how Rosemary, maybe she's not the fastest moving in the ring, maybe she's not the best in the terms of crispness in the moves that she does, but there's something about the character and there's something about the way she interacts in a match that still makes it flow and be good. And that's a good way of going. You don't necessarily have to do all the crazy stuff to be good in the ring. You've got other aspects of what they go for, and I think Rosemary has that in this case. So we'll see how they play off of this. If this is going to lead into like a Rosemary Gail Kim feud down the road or something in that sense, or if it's going to continue on like Rosemary and Jade with Gail Kim kind of being in the middle of it. We'll see where they go with everything here. But overall, that was a pretty good main event to finish off the show. So with that being said, Impact this week was actually a pretty good show. Not like, you got storylines being built around the X Division guys now. The thing with Aaron Rex where he's trying to be dubious, but it backfires on him and he ends up losing his championship. The setup for EC3 and Eddie Edwards next week was pretty good to go along with it. So yeah, overall a good week from Impact this week with a pretty good main event to go along with it. So with that being said, that is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.